Hi guys, welcome back to our realistic career mode here on FIFA 22. This is episode 3 of our Barcelona Xavi save. So, thanks for rejoining me today. I've got a bit of a packed episode for you, quite a bit to get through, not least the small matter of the El Clasico. It is Barca versus Real Madrid at home at the Nou Camp, so really looking forward to this one. A great way to get back to positive form. Elsewhere, we've got a few errands and notifications to get through. One, bit more of a sad note, unfortunately. Sergio Aguero. We need to talk about him. And what we're going to do with him in the future, given the news that has just come out over the recent days. So we'll talk about that. In addition, we want to talk about some of the midfielders, in particular Xavi, Ricky Puig, apparently, and Nico Gonzalez as well. Had a lot of Barcelona fans getting at me in the comment section about really those three. So we'll talk about them. Also want to have a quick look through the finances. We also want to talk about the youth academy and the training as well. And on top of that, we also have a range of games that we're going to show in a post-com format. Absolutely loads to get through here, as you can see. So, quite a lot to get through. Just want to quickly mention, guys, I'm sort of cutting this one in, recording it at the end, but I'm cutting this at the start of the video because I got a really good idea and something that I want to start doing. I want more interaction with you guys. So, in the comment section, I want you guys to get at me and just talk about your career modes. What career modes are you currently playing? What is your current save? I want to know the team you are, any transfers you made, your philosophy, your tactics. Let me know, because I'm really interested. You know, a couple of people have got at me talking about their Barcelona saves that they've been doing, and I'm really interested. So, anyone who is willing to share, get at me in the comment section. Just let me know all that, and I'm really interested. First things first, I just want to say, if you haven't done so already, make sure to go and check out my Patreon. The link is in the description. Great way to get access to loads of extra perks and rewards. Brilliant stuff that we have on offer, such as my FIFA 22 custom tactics package, as well as access to the Discord, behind the scenes videos that are coming soon, early access videos, all that good stuff. Do go and check it out. Great way to support the channel and get some great perks as well. So, what shall we do first then? Well, you know what, let's talk about Sergio Aguero, because it is a bit of an elephant in the room and it's time we do address it. So naturally, at the time of recording this, Sergio Aguero has recently, we believe, come down with a heart condition, and I'm recording this on the 13th. Yesterday, or the day before, rumours came out that he may have to call it a day, call it quits on his career, due to a supposed heart condition. Now, we don't know for definite. There's been no confirmation from him and no confirmation from the club. So it isn't set in stone. However, at some point, if it does get set in stone, then what we're going to have to do is we'll have to evaluate that situation, and we'll probably end up either releasing him or just keeping him at the club and not playing him. So, you know, we'll really have to have a look at that. In the meantime, obviously, he's not playing games at the moment because of this. So, I think we're going to probably use him sparingly, to be honest, if at all, depending on the situation at the club. It's worth bearing in mind that a news story came out on the game, actually, saying he's unhappy with his lack of involvement. But, you know, there's not a whole lot I can do. So, my hand might get forced there, and we're not quite sure, but we're going to keep an eye on that one, unfortunately. It'll probably be a case of us ending up releasing him, but unfortunately that will mean another club might end up signing him, so there's not a whole lot I can do. If we keep him at the club and don't play him, the board might get involved and they might force me to sell him. So, you know, we'll have to analyse that situation, but for now, he hasn't yet confirmed whether or not it's going to happen. So, like I say, we'll keep an eye on that developing situation. What about these midfielders then? These young midfielders. They've been quite the topic of conversation in the comment section, particularly from Barcelona fans who are not happy with me not playing Xavi every single minute of every single game. And all I have to say to that is, guys, relax. Calm down. He'll get his minutes. We're rotating. You know, we will rotate this midfield. We've got lots of players available in this position. We've got Pedri, we've got Xavi, we've got Gonzalez, we've got Ricky Puig. You know, and then elsewhere, if you're looking at defensive midfield, we've also got De Jong and Busquets as well. There's loads of players. I can't play them all at once. We will rotate. We'll give all of them good game time, and that will be that. In particular with Xavi, if you have a look here, he's got 55 stamina. I can't play him week in, week out. Look, even now, you know, his stamina, everyone else is full, but he is not full. And he's the only one. So, you know, I can't play him week in, week out. It just won't happen. You know, we've got to rotate. So I appreciate people obviously want to see him play, particularly Barcelona fans. And they weren't happy with me playing Puig instead of him. But, you know, some people are saying, you know, he's not played well recently. But I'm not interested in real life. You know, like, if in the last game he didn't play well, that will have no bearing on whether I'll play him or not. At the end of the day, he's a developmental piece. He's got a lot of potential. And we should try and utilise that, and we'll rotate him in if and when we need to. So just a note to those guys who really aren't happy, just calm down, don't worry, they'll all get their minutes, they'll all get their game time, we rotate them in nice and easily, and they'll all have a part to play. So just don't worry. I also want to specifically hone in on Nico Gonzalez here. And I've had a lot of people, or a few people, saying to me, maybe retrade him as a defensive midfielder. Obviously, he can play there and central midfield as well. Let's talk about him. I mean, he has played there in real life. He's played a bit of both, really, in real life. Rotated between the two. You know, I have begun to train him at defensive midfield because I think there is potential for him to play there. Having said that, at the moment, you know, he's nowhere near ready. I mean, if we look at his defensive awareness, it's 50. You know, I'm not so much interested in the tackling aspects. That is what it is. You know, I'm not too bothered. That's not really what Barcelona think about. But defensive awareness, that mental side of it, that's what we need to look at. In particular, his interceptions as well. If we look here, only 61. He's extremely raw in that area. And if he's going to play defensive midfielder, he will need to boost that. So we'll train him there, we'll develop him, but in the meantime, he'll probably play central midfield because he's just not ready to play defensive midfield, particularly when we have Frenkie de Jong there and Sergio Busquets there as well. And finally, before we come on to the El Clasico, quick look at the finances. Looking healthy, you know, not going to lie to you, they are looking very healthy. I mean, 213 million for merchandising, 82 million for season tickets. Now, obviously, we will take into account other things. They've got debts. The expenses don't really calculate a lot of stuff that are on the expenses in real life. So we'll bear that in mind as well. Like I say, though, as I said so in episode 1, the remit will stay the same. This season, probably not going to sign anyone other than Dani Alves. Turns out we're not going to sign Dani Alves because, as it happens, he's not actually on the game. So that's okay. I'm actually kind of relieved because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not a fan of that signing at all. So we'll leave that one there. So what about this game then today? The tail of the tape. We're currently in 9th. I know it doesn't look overly healthy, but we are, of course, going through this transitional period, whereas Real Madrid are currently 2nd, chasing the tails of Atletico Madrid, who are currently unbeaten. And as you'll remember from the last episode, kind of did a number on us, despite the fact we looked very good in the first half and should have scored many, many goals. As for the lineups, this is how it's looking. They're a little bit tired from their European adventure midweek, whereas obviously we made a lot of changes, so we're a little bit fresher. The only thing I have noticed about them is that Alaba and Mendy have switched, as is the problem on career mode for some reason. Just players being played all over the place. Now people keep telling me, and I'm going to actually do it now, to add a second controller and then go on to select sides and add in another controller so that you can switch the side around. So I'm going to experiment with this now and see if it works. Let's have a quick look. Click advance. We'll go back, and if I go onto team management now, right, okay, so we can actually do that. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to swap Mendy and Alaba around so that they are now in the proper positions. Other than that, it all looks absolutely fine. As for our team, you'll remember obviously in the last couple of games against Valencia and Atletico Madrid, we were struggling to score and the front three were not stepping up. However, one, I've not really got a lot to bring into them. And two, if we're playing well but just not scoring, I'm less inclined to change the team around. Hopefully these guys can just find a little bit of form, find that finishing touch. And once we start taking chances, honestly, we can really start rolling and picking up some momentum. So we'll see how this one goes. I think it's worth noting that, again, if we can get a win in this game today, and I know I was talking like this last time against Atletico, but I'm going to do it again. If we can just get a win and get a foothold, things can honestly change so quickly, you know, so it's important just to remain level-headed and see where that takes us. Dembele looking to chip it over to Memphis Depay. That's a really good start. Depay will dink it over. Oh, I meant to volley that and accidentally pressed LB instead of LT. Oh, I played him off. I played him offside. Oh, there's a great save from Ter Stegen. It has to be said. I was adamant that I played him offside there. Tried to step up. Won't even show us on the replay. Depay will come out wide. Jordi Alba. Really good build-up play here. And a chance he's forming. He'll look to cut it across. Ah, that's an opportunity. I think it was Pedri who was there and didn't have enough to turn it in. Referee, what are you doing? It's quite clearly half-time. Oh yeah, finally when we get the ball he blows it, of course. So then, half-time and a couple of chances either way. It's on a bit of a knife edge. But I'd say in our case, there's just not very good movement. We're going to have to take Xavi off because look at him, he's absolutely knackered. He's so tired. Who do we bring on? Do we bring on Nico Gonzalez? Do we bring on Ricky Puig? I think we bring on... Seeing as he played quite well in the last episode, we'll bring on Nico Gonzalez and go with him. And then, yeah, other than that, I'm going to have a quick look at the tactics, see if there's anything that we can really do to improve this here a little bit. You know, there's not a lot I'm seeing. Maybe in the instructions there's something, but do we get him drifting out wide maybe? He's on free roam at the moment. Perhaps we get him to drift out wide. Pedri. Perhaps we get Pedri on free roam. Let's give this a shot. Let's mix it up a little bit and see if we can get a bit more movement in the final third. Oh, Longley, you've got to close that gap. There's a massive gap forming. Great save from Ter Stegen. We've got to react and win the ball back quickly here. Switches to the wrong person. And another great save from Ter Stegen. But the defending again. Why is there such a big gap between my centre-backs? Standing around doing nothing. Defensive AI. Come on. Looking to come out wide to Dembele. Back to Depay. Gonzalez. Xavi. Can he go one more to Fati? Here's a chance. He'll drive it to the far post. Oh, it's another weedy shot. Chance for him here. Stop the shot. And he doesn't do so. Runs in unchecked. Midfielders standing around. Luka Modric. The ball drops to him. And it's been coming. We've just not looked very good defensively again. Too many players standing around and not doing their jobs. Defensive responsibility. Look at this. Just allows him free. He knows he's there, but he doesn't act upon it. So disappointing. Frenkie de Jong as well. And ultimately, they get the chance to take and get to fingertip to it as well. But we can't keep relying on him. We've got to do better. Have to do better. Really disappointing. And it could be another loss on the cards. Oh, one more opportunity here. And what an opportunity. Here's Depay. Why is he slowing down for the ball? He's got to come to it. There's a chance. Cut back inside. The fake shot. Just... Oh. Come on, we got to press. Oh, we don't press. So disappointing. There's not a lot more I can do. It's starting to really annoy me now. Just defensively, do your jobs. You know what I mean? Just stick to your man. Why don't they mark? Why don't they close the gaps? Why don't they act? It's so frustrating. Really getting on my nerves now because there's not a whole lot I can do. I can't control everyone on the team. So, I don't know. I don't know what the way forward is. It's just got to improve. It really has. My sliders have increased marking and it's still not doing anything. So, I don't know. I don't know what the way forward is. We've got to improve. Maybe a change of tactic. Right then, guys. So, after that defeat, we've had a bit of a change around and a bit of a mess with things. As you'll notice, the fullbacks have gone back to wing back, and we're going to get them more overlapping and playing a wider role. In return, the wingers will now look to cut inside more rather than staying wide. In addition to that, in the tactics, we've altered things a little bit. We've gone for press after possession loss now. It was on constant pressure. We've changed it back to more of a counter-pressing system than a gegen-pressing system. We've also lowered the depth from 90 to 80 as well, just to give us a little bit more leniency in terms of that defensive line and dealing with balls in behind. And on top of that, we've also looked to work around the roles a little bit. We've changed De Jong to man mark in the hope that might make a bit of a difference, although it probably won't. And so we'll see how this one really plays out. I think with these run of games coming up now, we've really got an opportunity to restabilise our form and just find our tactic, you know. Still messing around a bit a lot. And so, you know, we really need to hone in on that and get a settled system and set up. And then from there, we can really look to build and gain some momentum. So what the plan is now is I'm going to go ahead, play a few of these games, and then we'll come back and see how we've got on. So welcome back, guys. You join me in a much better mood than what I was at the end of that El Clasico game. That is because we've played a few games, we've made those tweaks of the tactics, and things are looking better. Much better. Performances have improved vastly, and it's just been a lot nicer time. So first things first, let me tell you what's happened in those previous games. So after the change of tactic, we started this run of games with a game against Rayo Vallecano. Of course, their line being spearheaded by Falcao. We did in the end sim this one, and as you can see, made a lot of changes due to the players being just really tired from their exports against Real Madrid. Thankfully, we did get away with it. Nico Gonzalez getting the only goal of the game in the 3rd minute to give us a 1-0 win. We followed that with a game against Deportivo Alaves, back to a predominantly strong side, but as you can see, a little bit of a mix around. Pedri playing up front in a false 9 role and Depay coming out wide. It works out well, and finally we did get the winning goal thanks to Ansu Fati producing this absolutely brilliant finish as he got the ball on the left hand side and cut in from that pass. Really good way to get things off and running with the new system. And to be fair, despite the fact that the stats will show it was more of an even game, I thought it was actually an okay performance really, and it gave us good momentum going into this game in the Champions League. It was against Dynamo Kiev, bringing them back to the new camp, but as you can see, made lots of changes, very much a rotated side, and Kays Ruiz Atil getting his shot up front, and boy oh boy did he impress. The scoring started after Dembele was put through one-on-one thanks to a wonderful pass from Nico Gonzalez, although it didn't actually show that on the replay, unfortunately. And then they retaliated and gave us a bit of a scare with a nicely worked finish despite some questionable defending. And from then on, we really just went from strength to strength in our reaction. Kays Ruiz Atil getting onto the score sheet for the first time in this match, but certainly not the last. He then set up Demir later on in the first half, square it to him and get another goal. He scored again later on after being put through by Xavi and putting it past the keeper in one-on-one. And then we rounded off the scoring. Demir gets put through one-on-one. His shot saved, but Xavi is there to pick up the pieces and in the end give us an emphatic and resounding 5-1 win. As you can see by the stats, a very commanding and dominating performance. And the fact that we'd make so many changes and look so good was really an indicator of the momentum we've been picking up. We then travelled over to Celta Vigo this time around, returning to a very strong looking side. And we got the only goal of the game here. Ansu Fati getting put in one-on-one, squaring it to Pedri, who, despite the fact he nearly ballsed it up after taking a bit of a strange touch and a weird technique to finish it with his laces, does eventually get the goal and gives us another 1-0 win. So we are keeping clean sheets, which is very good and much better, but we would like to be scoring a little bit more goals. We rounded off this run of games with, of course, a Catalonia derby against Espanyol. A couple of notable changes, Demir coming into the side, Busquets as well as Serginho Dest, and it was a really exciting game, very end-to-end stuff. We started the scoring with Depay getting onto the score sheet, and then they retaliated after a little bit of slow defending, allows their striker to run through and finish it past to Stegen. We then retaliated after their goalkeeper makes an absolute balls up at the back and seats it straight to Ansu Fati, who produces a nice finish. And then they retaliated, this time with just a really well worked goal, a nice turn and shoot, not a whole lot you could do about that, but thankfully we did have the final word. Substitute Dembele came on, got a ball in behind, sent it through to Xavi, who was the hero in the Catalonia derby, meaning in the end it was a 3-2 result. Would like to be taking more of these chances, but certainly very impressive and a great way to round off what was a really good set of fixtures. And with that, the league table looks so much healthier. We've clawed up from 12th to 6th, although the positions really don't matter at this stage because it's only the start of the season still. And it looks much better. Only 3 points off 4th now, Levante in that case. And we're just looking much better. You know, we've had a bit of a growing pains coming into the series and starting the season. but we're starting to settle down and things are looking better. Players are developing, they're improving. The likes of Xavi and Nico Gonzalez, for instance. Obviously, we've got K's Ruiz Atil as well, looking brilliant. So things are starting to progress, and I'm just so much more optimistic off the back end of those run of results. And now in the top 6, we can start to really begin our season. There obviously is issues with the defending. We've not scored enough as well. We've won quite a few games 1-0. And we're controlling possession relatively well in those games. But there is still an issue defensively. So that's something we have to work on. We have to improve. You know, I am quick to blame the game. So I do apologise for that. You know, sometimes it is on me. And I accept that, no problem. Other times, you know, you have to remember that because obviously we're playing a high line, they will find space in behind sometimes. And, you know, for anyone, I have had someone in the last video say, you know, it's because you're playing a high line. But obviously that's the way we want to play. That's the Barcelona way. That's this, you know, sort of modern, total football inspired philosophy of Xavi and of Barcelona. So, you know, that's why we're going to play, you know, to help our press, to try and control games and control possession more and play on the front foot and dictate the game. And so we have to play that high line. So that is a sacrifice and a risk that we have to make. So it's something we'll deal with. You know, sometimes it is the game's fault as well. You know, it's fair to say, because you can't explain everything. But I think there's certainly improving that I can do in that area as well. As for the Champions League, we're through and we have won the group in emphatic style. We've been brilliant in this Champions League. We have been absolutely faultless. And look at some of the results we're getting as well. We've won 5-1, 4-1, 3-1 and 3-2. You know, we've been like nearly perfect other than defending because we've not yet had a clean sheet. So it's been brilliant and we're already qualified and in first place. So maybe we decide to rest players. Maybe we go with a strong team against Bayern just to try and see where we're at in terms of the tactics and the team. But it's been brilliant and I can't wait for the groups to the knockout stages. Some rather disappointing news. Pedri is out for 3 months with a broken toe. Really, really disappointed. He's been good. He's been playing well. And he's going to be a miss. He really is. You know, it's down to others to step up now. The likes of Xavi, of Puig, of Nico Gonzalez. You know, these guys have got to step up now. You know, Ruiz Atil will get a game time as well in that position maybe. So there are options, but again, it's still a big miss. And to be about Pedri, you know, is disappointing. Elsewhere, I'd like to talk to you guys quickly about the Youth Academy. We are still, of course, focusing on it. It is a part of our philosophy going forward. As you can see, really fleshing the youth squad out now. We've got a lot of players in here that I'm really pleased. Not ready to promote any of them just yet. The closest one to getting a call up to the first side is this man, Francisco Gutierrez. He looks absolutely fantastic. 16 years old, potential 94 to 88. High attacking work rate, medium defensive, 4-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot, 6'4". Pretty special. And then having a look through his attributes, as you can see, he's got a bit of everything. He really is all-rounded, other than defensively, which I'm surprised considering how strong he looks. But he looks very good. He looks very, very good. And at some point, I can see him getting promoted. Not long at all. We'll give him maybe a month or two more of development and then look to see if he can, you know, get a promotion to the senior team. You know, on top of all this, as you can see, a lot of players still very raw, still a lot of growing to do. So we'll keep an eye on all of them along the way. But so far, a really fleshed out and promising looking youth squad. So that's just about going to do us for this video then, guys. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like and ring the bell. For the next episode, episode 4, what we're going to do is we're going to play through all of these games and have them in post-com highlights. And then we're going to come back for the Super Cup El Clasico against Real Madrid. So, unfortunately, 2 El Clasicos in a row. If you guys don't want to see that and you'd rather see another game, maybe we go a bit further to Atletico or something, then let me know. But that is the plan going forward. So there's going to be a lot of games with post-com highlights, and then we'll also go into transfer window as well, in which we'll see the likes of Coutinho leave. So that'll be good, and we'll look forward to that. If you aren't already, make sure to go and check out my Patreon. The link to that is in the description. Get great perks and rewards, as are the links in the description to my second channel with Football Manager 2022 videos, and my Twitter as well. Give me a follow on there. Check out my affiliate links where you can get access to all of my equipment, my gaming PC, custom build parts, the games, all that good stuff. Great way to support the channel, because I do get a little kickback and you don't have to pay any more. On that note, we're going to round the video off there. So until next time, thank you for joining me yet again, and I will see you soon.